All right. I'm upside down.
Hey.
What's up? What's up? Good to see everybody. Yeah, move this thing. Come on, girl. You can do it. Do 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 do. There we go. That's more like it. Let's get the light going. Should be able to see my hands pretty clear. What's up, everybody? Hope you can hear me well.
What's up, noobs?
Did you say noobs?
Yeah.
How dare you? And Maddie's here. She's studying while watching House. So
it is also studying.
It is basically studying, even though it's pretty ridiculous. But
no.
Good to see everybody. Can you hear me okay?
No.
Maddie, I'm not asking you. I'm asking them. What's up, everyone?
Who's on?
Oh, they can hear me. Okay, wonderful. Drippy Chicken Boy's in here. Holy crap. Yo, washcloth. Oh, no, it starts. Oh, no. We got all the fun people in here. Beautiful. Good to see everybody. Thank you for joining. This is Travis with ChaoticCrafterZero. Another hobby night. Oh no, WC said I'm so cooked. I didn't say it. Magnus. Oh, Magnus. Oh boy. All right, so what are we working on today? So I'll be painting up some chaotic cultists over here. Got a couple of them that I have based on here, but I do want to like get their skin and flesh tone right, along with just painting them as much as I can. So let me get some of these guys off here, and that way I can start working on them. So this guy's almost done. I just got to do his base, literally. But I'm really happy with him. He's going to be a part of my cultist band, my mob, because when I got the box, I was missing one of them. I don't know how, or I threw it away by accident, more than likely. But I found this guy part of a kit. And he's technically a traitor guardsman, but you know what? He'll fit in just fine with the cultist mob. So I just got to paint up his base there. And we have a couple other guys that I can do real easy. So this one's real easy. I'll just paint his base up. No problem. He's ready to go. So the ones that are ready right now, here's another example. So here's another chaos cultist, part of the cultist mob. I just got to paint his base. So that's easy. Oh, here's another one. This one's easy. So we'll knock this one out. And then I got a bunch of other guys. So I'm going to put this to the side and let me start cooking on these guys while we hang out. So how's everyone doing? What's new? What's new? Oh, Renoval's in here. What's up? Hell yeah. Awesome. We got a whole bunch of great people in here. This is fantastic. Yeah, I saw you, Daddy. I see you're in here. Sweet. So you can see my computer to the left. Hello. So I just have this up. This is on the PC today. So I will be showcasing what other people in the server have been working on in the Discord. So if you want to see that, I will be doing a screen share and just showing off what everyone's been posting. So I know you guys have seen some of the videos that I've been putting out, mostly shorts. So I feel a little bit better with my progress, but I'm not at 2,000 points yet. So, but I do have a game tomorrow at 4 p.m. at my local game store. I will be facing a Black Templars experienced player in playing 40K with just 1,000 points. So I'm probably going to get my ass whooped, and that's okay because we got to learn, right? We all got to learn somewhere. I have played 40K in a form or a version or a shortened version of it. So I haven't played Combat Patrol, but like I've been shown the game mechanics and like rolling a little bit and understanding that. So yeah, I think I might be cooked too, WC. Yeah, I'm going up against a Black Templars player. Like no one just chooses Black Templars right away. So this guy's pretty experienced. Me and WC in the video that we did together, we did talk about if you're ever going to play against anybody when you're first starting, if you can verse someone who's more experienced than you, usually it's more advantageous because it's better than trying to play against someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Then you're both just like lost in the sauce. But if you play with someone who actually knows what they're doing, they'll be able to keep the game going. They'll be able to show you things, and you'll have more of a learning experience out of it. And like you could even pick their brain, right? Like, well, if you were in my position, what would you do? You know, so you can kind of, and it's a good friendship, a good connection to make, especially in your local gaming area, to know someone, and then that could be someone that maybe you'll face off against again, right? So like WC also played a game, and he said it was a good game, and he's glad that he did it. So, and then he'll be playing again this weekend. So how cool is that?
That's so cool.
Thank you, Maddie. All right, let's see what chat's doing here. Voltron might strike again. Bren, how you doing after last night? Man, I'm getting pop-ups on this crazy over here. I'm part of a couple different servers. Daddy poop appearance, that's funny. A wild poop appeared. Yeah, I'm here. So if you're on the Discord, that whole debacle, luckily that got resolved really quickly. Magnus, thank you again. Along with Neo, you guys were really quick to jump on that and just to like put out an announcement like, hey, one of the accounts might have gotten hacked. And then we were able to kind of remedy that. So it looks like Renoval's back on top, but it's just good to keep your security. You know, it's just good to have that, especially in day and age, and like not clicking on stuff. Like Renoval sent me it. I saw it and I was like, I thought it was a joke. You know, I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. Why are you sending me this? I didn't click on it, by the way. But, you know, later on I found out, well, someone hacked his account or someone got into it and was able to just start propagating this thing, which is crazy, by the way. So guaranteed he's not the only one. There's probably people in multiple other servers or other friend groups that have had the same issue. So it happens. And Discord is not safe. It really isn't. And if you think what's on Discord stays between you and what's on Discord, like, no, there's definitely people monitoring this shit. I guarantee it. So always be careful with what you're doing. Always be careful with what you're saying. Privacy doesn't really exist in the free world, unfortunately. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So, yeah, I was told it happened to other people like a wildfire. Holy crap. Yeah, I wonder where it came from, too, Renoval. I mean, I'm a cybersecurity. I went to school for that shit, so, and I did graduate with it, but I didn't see anything. I'm sure we'll hear about it somewhere. Someone will talk about it, or it'll have like an actual article on it. Like usually that's what they do. Sometimes some YouTubers that are in that sphere of IT stuff, they're going to go in and, you know, they're going to do a report on it too. Just if there's any information on how it was, you know, I could probably capture it, look at it, and I could try to find the origin of it. And there's like analyzers you can use if you're looking at malware, like malware analysis and shit. Like I've learned some of that, like looking at the code or keeping it in a sandbox environment. And a sandbox environment is basically like everything else around it it's a sanitized device. And even if you do get infected, you want to get infected because you want to check its behavior. And that's like behavioral analytics when you're looking at viruses or you're looking at, you know, malware, stuff like that. It's pretty crazy. So, oh, here we go. Neo said, "Was my stream looking okay on Sunday?" Yes, it did, man. That was a fun little stream. I was on there. Me and Maddie were on there for a while.
Yeah,
so,
I was on for a while.
Yeah, just watching you guys play. I'm pretty jealous. I want to get in on that too, but I haven't even started, so I'd be such a total noob.
I'd be noob too.
Yeah. Oh, Renoval said I kept dying. No, I saw Renoval. I know. Oh, that was Neo. Yeah. You're right. My bad. Yeah, Neo was the one that was playing, and then WC was there like a fucking Salamander's badass, dude, with his Blade Guard veteran and shit. Just, well, I think he was a captain though, wasn't he? I can't remember what you based it off of, but his guy was awesome, melee focused, with the torches and everything. Really badass looking Marines. to play that game. So I don't have $5 on Space Marine 2 for nothing. Yeah, no shit. Damn. Yep. So if you guys didn't know, Neo did do a live stream. So was that your first one? I want to think that was your first one. I had a Deathwash Iron Hands Blade Guard with the Necron sword. That's right. Yep. WC said only 500 hours. Those are newbie numbers. Yeah. Yeah, WC's at like, what are you, 800 or something, dude? Like, I know you're easily over 700. So, yeah. Oh, your first one in a few years? Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, WC said no, 900. Yeah, WC played Space Marine 2 a lot. It's what got him into Warhammer, which is pretty cool. WC said, I have no life. Aw. I feel like that too sometimes, man. Twin. LED said twin. Magnus said 3,000. My God, his power level's over 3,000. I should do Vegeta as a cosplay. He's such a badass, but he loses like every fight, which sucks. Don't forget to bring a towel. That's right. Okay. I think my most played game is over 3,000 hours, and that's on Fallout 4 between playing it on PS4 and a PC. Oh. And Renoval, you play it on PC, don't you? And Neo, I know WC, he has to play it on PC, I'm assuming. So there's no lag. So, like, I have a badass PC. I just got to get it hooked up to the damn internet. Oh, Renoval said, now I do. Okay, gotcha. Need the hairline for it. That's funny. Kakarot! Neo said, hell yeah. Damn. I remember playing, I don't know how many hours I had on Halo, like 1 and 2 and 3, you know, Call of Duty, of course. I don't even know if we even tracked hours back then. Rainbow Six Las Vegas. I fucking love that game. Even though it wasn't internet based, it was just a fun game to play with your buddies. WC said I play on the laggy Ace PS5. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Do a mean Cell impression. No shit, Neo. I gotta hear that. That's pretty good. You can talk like Vegeta. No Kakarot. An imbecile. Then who could do freaking? There's actually a joke I was watching about anime, and it said like who has the most aura, like who does the most aura farming ever, and it's definitely Piccolo. And I definitely, out of all the anime characters in the entire world, number one aura farmer is Piccolo. That cape, dude, the cape goes so hard. He always says some badass shit. Yeah, he is the aura farmer, 100%, dude. WC said where the computer explodes. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. No, Piccolo for sure, dude. He is. I remember being a kid, and like even though Piccolo didn't win every fight, he was just such a badass. You know, he did win a lot of fights, and he always went down swinging, dude. And he always like, you know, I loved watching that back in the day. Yeah, his fit, yes. He had a beam attack to give the fit to Gohan. Oh, that's right. So he turned it into an attack. Yeah. Yeah, Piccolo would win if he tried. I know, right? He's always like, I'm only using 1/10 of my power. I only need 10% of my power to defeat you, Cell. Orange Piccolo's even more badass. Ooh. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Funny enough, after the Frieza arc with Yamcha was stronger than Vegeta before the time skip for Android Saga. No kidding. And Yamcha was like, he's got to be one of the worst losers ever. But I mean, I think they actually did. Someone like broke down and analyzed every Dragon Ball series ever, and it was who's with Tien, the little guy that blows himself up. He was deemed the most worthless character in the entire series. what was his name? The little guy. Chiaotzu, that's it. Thank you, Neo. It was Chiaotzu. Thank you. Yep, that little guy. Even though he's always like a little cute friend and like, I mean, he would blow himself up, but he like couldn't even kill the other people. Like he like sacrificed himself, and it didn't mean shit. But yeah, which is sad. Tien would also soul everyone if he tried. Yeah, Tien's another aura farmer too. Hell yeah. Check out my pickled from Travis. It's perfect. What do you mean? What do you mean there? You're pickled? What? Hey, thumbs up if you like freaking DBZ. I grew up on that shit. So literally me and my friends would pretend that we're DBZ characters and fight outside during gym, and like the teachers didn't care. Back when you could get away with it, like we would hide somewhere and be like, all right, we're gonna fight each other, and we would like blast each other with energy beams, and like it was so stupid. We would like hit each other, like if it was snow, we would like throw snowballs, like I'm throwing a frost attack, Kamehameha, and it was just silly. Yeah, we used to like wrestle and fight each other and have fun, but it was never like too serious. So yeah, dodgeball. Oh, I love dodgeball. Absolutely. Neo said Tien, Piccolo, and Cell were always my favorite character. Hell yeah, dude. I, of course, was a Goku fan. I loved Goku. He was always just funny and silly, but he was always the force for good, right? So he wasn't perfect. He was dumb as a box of rocks, but he was always pretty cool. So I always liked a couple of those characters in DBZ. So, and Piccolo was definitely one of my favorites too. My buddy always picked Piccolo though, so like I can't be Piccolo. He had to be Piccolo. So I would usually be, I could be Gohan, or if I could be Goku, I wish, but how fun. Magnus said maybe stupid, but that's where the best memories are. Yeah, facts, man. Absolutely. Not really. He was unaware what humans do in the city since he lived in the wilderness. Once he learned, though, he showed how smart he was. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So let me get some Vallejo Black. I'm going to go ahead and prime these bases of these 4 humans, these cultists. Also, I did learn if you're going to prime your minis, if they have a lot of flesh, priming in gray is a better idea, because I prime my other ones in all black just for time saving purposes. And the flesh tones, when you paint over it, don't look right. They don't look the same. So if you're going to paint anything with flesh tones, I would recommend it in a gray or a lighter color rather than all black. I just did it for time saving purposes, but yeah, you're going to want to, if you're going to do it, see how his back looks. Like that's really good flesh tone. You know what I mean? It looks good. So I learned, compared to how it looks, this guy's cousin, because I have two boxes of these cultists, right? So this is the original box, and then the new box is what's shelved away right now, but they don't look the same. So you probably already knew that, but if you don't know, now you know. Neo said almost done with Company Heroes, only 2 more to do. Oh, there you go. Excellent, Neo. You're cooking, man. There you go. Yeah, I'm getting there. I got to get more legionaries. I've been working on all my special units, like Abaddon and like my main characters, but like then when you look at your army, I only have 10 legionaries, and I'm like, shit, that's not enough. Well, actually, I think I have 15. Hold on. Yeah, I only have 10. Like, I haven't been doing the battle line troops. I only have 10 of them. So when I go tomorrow to play a game of 40K with 1,000 points, I only have 10 legionaries. They're not very strong either way, but they're just good to have because they're a little bit stronger than these guys. So they're only wounds 2 for a Chaos Space Marine. That seems kind of low, right? Like, I would imagine it should at least be 3. They just die fast, I guess. All right, here we go. And then for this, I'm just basing it, and I'm just using a simple round brush, a little bit bigger than usual. Not quite like a medium-sized brush, but just, and not like extra large, but just good enough to where I can get around his feet, get the main base of it, make sure I cover everything, and then I'll let it dry while I work on the next guy. So, and then whenever I go around a base, just so it's even, I know some people kind of like go like this, around it. For me, I just find myself doing this where it's kind of like I just go down at an angle. That way it's more for me. I just found it better because for me, if I go around it this way, sometimes it pulls up on the edge here. But what I do is I do it at an angle, kind of like that. And for whatever reason, the coverage just looks cleaner rather than just straight up painting around the base. So that's just how I do things. Everyone does it different, but if it works for me, it works for me. But if you have a different, better way of doing it, that's fine. I'm just going to keep doing it until I run out of paint. That's good. All right, I'm going to put this homie down, let him dry. Actually, I see a little spot that I might have missed right by his little toes on his right foot. So just a little dab here. Yeah, just his little toes. And I'm just going to go around that base there. That looks good. All right, put him to the side, let him dry. Next. Just a good amount on there. I like it pretty liberal, but I'm not like dipping it in there completely. You know what I mean? So fingers are clean. I can touch this thing. Make sure there's no dust on it. So here's a different flesh tone. This is what happened when I painted it, when I primed it in all black. It just looks a little bit like clay-like, doesn't it? Like it doesn't look right. So just something to think about. Again, it's just a chaos cultist, not a big deal. It's not my main character, but there will be a little bit of a quality disparity because I primed them all black when I should have done a Z prime, or I should have just primed them in gray because of the flesh. So lesson learned. That's what happens when I rush things. So now I'm just going to do my usual, which is paint around the base, just kind of like this. So now I just try to make sure I'm getting it. A little bit of overlap. I'll need a little bit more, actually. There we go. And I'll go over it one more time, just so it's even. Again, everyone does it a little bit differently. It's just the way I find myself doing it, and for me, it works. So it seems clean once it's done. There we go. All right, nice and prime there. Putting him to the side. 2 more to go. More. Sorry if I'm not reading your comments. I'm just making sure I'm doing a thorough job. I'll check them once I'm done painting this guy's base. Let me get a little bit more on there. There we go. Fucking bubbles. I hate paint bubbles. Okay. This guy's done. Looks decent. Let me just double check it real quick. That looks good to me. Putting him to the side. Let me go to comments. Let's see what we're talking about here. You guys think $60 is a good price for Apothecary by Elogis? 65 is insane. I would imagine it being like, if it was 30, 35, it would be fine for a single character. But $65, good lord. No, I don't think that's a good deal. Neo said, anyone in chat want to buy me a Redemptor Dreadnought?
Did no one want to buy me a Chanel purse?
Yeah, Maddie wants to know if anyone will buy her Chanel purse. Good God. Magnus says, what does the Biologus do? Renival said, for one hero character... WC said it's basically a lieutenant for Gravis. Okay. Lethal wounds. Okay. And they said the main thing is the model only comes in $120 heroes of the chapter, so you have to buy the whole thing. Can it heal units? No, but it does get an OC of 9 if his unit kills something. Damn, that's huge if his unit, not even him, if his unit does it. That's pretty likely, actually, for that to happen. So that's a, wow, OC of 9 is pretty strong. And it goes until the end of battle. Oh, okay, so you get the point. If you're on the, intend for the objective control. And then WC said he's an absolutely epic model. That's awesome. Okay. And OFC, the Gravis part? I'm not too sure what OFC means. Official? And he said, Renival should just check the sheet. If you have a squad that you plan to get into melee with, then yeah, he'd be great for them. Okay. So he's like a melee buffer. He'll go good with a attached to a melee unit then. And then Magnus said, just follow the rule of cool. Do you, You do you. Neo said, you guys drink Nuln Oil or Agrax Earthshade? I'm more of an Agrax Earthshade, but also Wildwood sometimes too. So that's funny. And then planning to attach him to six block of Eradicators. Okay, there you go. So that makes sense too. And then WC said he is really cool looking. Well, that's good. Magnus said hot take. Soul Blight Gray is better than Agrax and Nuln Oil and as a breakfast drink. That's funny. WC said, but I'm kind of considering just buying those of the chapter box at this point. Yeah, so if it's $65 for one, compared to if you do $120 for the whole thing, I feel you, man. That money is a bit of a... $120 is $120. That could fill up my truck probably 2 times. Because we got gas pretty cheap here, luckily. It's below $3, and that's all that matters. And then WC said, I also have aggressors with... I mean, I would put them with the aggressors then, dude. If you want it to be melee-centric, hell yeah, put it with the aggressors. They'll just fuck shit up, man. Me, personally, I like ending the day on a Berserker Blood Shade. That's what Blood for the Blood God is. I usually have this every morning, lunch, and dinner. It's just a good thing to really kick things up a notch. My other idea is getting a Space Marine friend player to buy the box and then pay him $35 for the Apothecary. Right. If he doesn't want the Apothecary. Yeah, because $65 is insane. 65 is like, it's... And numbers, by the way, I'm starting to see this. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you go on eBay or like on Facebook, not Marketplace, but like buy, sell trades,
there are definitely motherfuckers buying up these battle boxes and buying up these combat patrols, and they're trying to sell them at like a higher price, and it's kind of fucked up. And you can tell, or they're just selling the bits because they're trying to like, they buy the whole box and then they just try to sell off the bits that people want, but they're still charging a lot. Yeah. Yeah, the scalpers, exactly, Neil. I'm starting to see that, and I was waiting for this day to happen because it's inevitable. They did the same thing to Jordans, like Nike shoes. That market's tanked. Now you can have the ability to buy stuff at a better cost and more availability than it was before. I don't wear those type of shoes, but it's just something that I've noticed is that like 10 years ago, you could get a lot of money for a pair of Dunks, right? But now you can get them for like a fair price. And then they get into Pokemon cards. Exactly, dude. Exactly, Neo. It's so fucking annoying, man. And I think they're starting to get into Warhammer because they're realizing how popular it is and how much money you can make off this shit. And mainly, the main reason is because of scarcity. They love the scarcity of it. They can go in there and buy up these fucking battle boxes or buy up whatever. And then they go on eBay, or they mostly go on Facebook and these buy sell trades, and they just do that. That's all. They don't even play the game. They don't even play the game. And they can act like they're collectors all day, but I call bullshit. They know exactly what they're doing. They're buying it up and then they're selling it at like a $50 markup because they're hard to find. It's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up, but just keep an eye out for that because it is starting to happen. I'm seeing it. I'm personally seeing it when I go on Facebook and stuff because I want to go buy stuff like little bits and stuff, and like even the prices of those are starting to go up. It's ridiculous how much people want for things, even like little things. Like I go on there because I want to find like certain chain swords that look better than what comes in the box, and they're asking like $10 for a chain sword, a single chain sword. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? It's a little and shipping. Like, come on. I know we gotta make money. I'm a capitalist too, but like, come on, guys. Like, good lord. I know we gotta make money. You know, like you got mouths to feed, whatever your excuse is. But like, it's fucked up, bro. I'm gonna put my glove on just because I'm getting a little sweaty. Oh yeah, see? This power axe that my friend wanted was $15. That is insane. Exactly, Neo. Exactly. Yep. And then some scalpers have been using bots to pre-order for $40K for the last 4 years. Those bastards. Yeah, because I heard like, oh, it's going on order, and then it's like sold out. Like immediately. It's ridiculous. It's because of freaking scalpers. It's because of freaking scalpers. All right. Back to Vallejo Black. I'm going to go ahead and get this Trader Guardsman, his base painted up. And then I also have a little battlefield effect with, if it would focus. There it goes. Like a little helmet that I found just online. Came with the bits kit. Like using stuff like that. So it's almost like he's trampling is what he used to be, right? Like he used to be an Imperial Guardsman, and now he's like for the bad guys. Like how bad can you be, right, man? So I just thought I'd add that in there. Nice little touch. It's very thematic. Get a little bit more on here. Who the hell's revving their engine? There's always someone.
Me.
Yeah, okay, Maddie. All right. Try to get the dust off. Make sure there's no dust on here. And just start getting it. Just spread it around. Get it all over this little helmet. Make sure I'm in focus here. Yeah, I fucking hate scalpers, guys. I've done reselling, by the way, but like we make it fair. You know what I mean? Like we've resold stuff before, and like I'll get a little bit of a markup, but like some of this shit is just it's wild. It's wild. Like you said, $15 for a chain axe is retarded. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but like that's not even right. You know, they know exactly what they're doing too. Because they just want that. That's all they want. They just want the chain axe. And for them to ask $15 for that, they know exactly what they're doing. And that's kind of annoying, right? But Sometimes you might get lucky, like your local game stores. Sometimes they have bits boxes where you can buy stuff that other people just don't want. And they usually sell it. You know, they sell it in like a Ziploc bag. It depends on the LGS that you're going to. But sometimes you can go there and you can find stuff. And if you're like, okay, I can see 25% of this bag would be stuff that I would actually want or use, maybe it's worth it. Maybe you could haggle a little bit on prices because, again, it's just bits. You know what I mean? So, and if you go online like eBay, you can haggle with people too. Sometimes I've had luck. Like if it doesn't say make an offer, sometimes you could just message them and just say, hey, I really want this, but I don't want to pay that much for it. Is there any chance that you would accept $7 for it instead of 15? You know what I mean? So sometimes they're willing to let it go, but sometimes they're just assholes and like, price is firm, no negotiations. And I'm like, then you're never going to sell it. Or maybe you'll sell it and whoever does is a sucker. I wouldn't pay that much. Unless if I really, really, really want it and for whatever reason I have disposable income and I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. But yeah, I wouldn't be too happy with that buy. I'd be pretty pissed if that were to happen to me. So I feel that pain. And I get it too, because I try to buy stuff that I want specifically for my guys. Like I said, different chain swords, whatever it might be that come with a different kit. And then the motherfuckers are asking like $12 per chain sword. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, dude? That's insane. Absolutely insane. I'll once I'm done with this, I'll go back to comments and read them. Apologize. I wish I had my laptop in front of me. That way I could read while I'm doing this, but I got to focus on what I'm doing. So I'm sure I get a good angle. Go. Get in there. Oops. There we go. Nice and prime. We'll put him to the side. And back to comments. WC said Jesus, and they said, honestly, in your position, I would say just buy a Templar's box, and either way, an Exalted Sorcerer box, or maybe a Possessed for bits, and avoid buying parts. Yeah, sometimes. And then Neo said, honestly, guardsmen who turn traitor are totally for their choice. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, they're... if you're on the good side of the Emperor, you'll be fine. But if you're on the bad side and you're forsaken on some fucking death world and, you know, you're expendable. You're very expendable. Not to say it's much better on the Chaos side, but I guess it depends on which Chaos war band. Like if it was Red Corsairs, yeah, I'd probably join them if anything. But then again, you'll probably get killed for no reason. But also in the Guard, you get killed for no reason. You could just look at someone wrong and probably get, you know. A commissar doesn't like your zeal. You gone. WC said it's a really good point, Neo. Yeah, for PS5s. No, for real, dude. They're so expensive. Like, scalp that. Now you can see them in Target. You know, when they're in Target, you know that they're in stock. But yeah, when they're in normal retail stores, like, yeah, now most people have them. The hype is over. Yeah. But then there's people who hold on to these boxes and they never sell them because they want so much for them. And it's like, if you got to take a loss eventually, you freaking scalpers, or at least sell it at even, you bastards. But then they're going to charge you up on shipping because they get to pocket that. If you didn't know, if you're a reseller, you can pocket some of that shipping. So, and then Neo said, I always ask
at the LGS, the owner, or literally anyone who plays there, if they gotten any bits from Warhammer store because some people don't want their stuff. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a great idea. So if you're ever looking for bits, that's always another avenue. Cool with your LGS, or you just want to ask around, just like, hey, anybody got any bits that you want to get rid of? Like, I'll take them off your hand. I like bits. I have a whole box of bits that I have. So I'll probably get rid of some of them eventually. I don't need them all, so maybe I'll just bring them to the LGS or give them to you guys, depending on if you would even want it, of course. Oh, and then someone said you could also trade. That's a good idea too, WC. Yeah, you got this. Well, I'm looking for that. And then WC said, did you guys know the Custodes battle force is filled entirely with units in 40K? Every single one of them. Well, good. I would hope so, right? I would hope so. Renival said 2 full boxes and 1 bag full of bits. How fun. And then if you guys didn't know, I also posted on the resources and references link in the Discord. The new Miniatorum is up, so you can check your points for your army, along with some of the data index cards. A lot of stuff that went to Legends might be in there. Like, I could show you guys for Chaos Space Marines. Dude, I found out some bullshit. Wait till you see this, man. Where is it? This is the problem with GW. So call me crazy. Call me crazy. I printed this off today. Okay. It goes alphabetically, right? Where the fuck's the rhino? Anybody see rhino on this? Because I fucking don't.
Yeah, right there.
No, it's not here. It goes Raptors, Red Corsair Raiders, Red Corsairs Reeve Captain, Sorcerer. Where's the rhino? Did they think about this? Where's the rhino? It's not on here. Is the Predator on here? Let me see if the Predator is on here. Nope. Oh, hold on. Chaos Rhino, 75 points. Okay. Well, there's the Chaos Predator. Okay. So there you go. But I'm just saying that's crazy. And then Vashtor, if you guys didn't know, Vashtor, he got a huge glow up. Where is he? He's right here at 175 points now. So I think he was at like 180 and now he's at 175. But if you look at his attacks, he's got like 12 attacks now for his like big ass hammer, which is insane. So I think they're prepping to bring in Perturabo. So yeah. And then WC said, I know my codex has it split across 2 pages. Yeah. No, there is no next page. They just have the whole thing right there. I can show you guys on my computer. Have you guys seen the orbital assault force? No, not yet. A lot of pixels. Okay, Runnable. And Renival said, no, I haven't yet. WC. Okay. Well, I'm going to let these guys dry. Oops. Stay. And I'm going to go and do screen sharing, and we can go over the Discord and stuff. So let's see what we got to show off, guys. Oh, my God. All right. Oh, it gets it. Oh, okay. All right. Thanks, Magnus. Yeah, this thing's not perfect. So it gets kind of grainy up close, and then eventually does it focus? There, it focused right there. You know? So it's kind of like, it seems to be about here. So like maybe a 6-inch drop from the camera. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind. Yeah, tanks are not Titanic models. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. All right, so let me do some screen share. And I'm going to go to the Discord. Here we go. All right, now we're sharing on Discord. New device detected. I'm just going to click. All right, so you guys should be able to hear me, see me. Y'all are freaking hilarious, by the way. Yeah, there are some new, announcements. Here's this, and then this is all about the VPN. You guys saw this. Hopefully got that all resolved. I did post some rules, so if you guys haven't checked it out, you can. These this isn't end all be all, right? Like, things are on a case by case basis. But you guys can look this over on your own. If you have any issues with it, let me know. If there's anything I should add, like, I almost thought even no politics in here, but like, I don't think that's even a problem because we don't even talk about it anyway. So I don't really need a rule. If someone else joins this and starts doing politics stuff, then yeah, I guess I'll have to update my rule. But like, I would imagine most of us don't even want to talk about that shit anyway. So, you know what I mean? Like taboo things, or like religion. Like, I'm not against religion at all, but like, I know some people don't like that, but like, this is also a free country. Like, I'm not going to shut you down for talking about stuff like that. Big boy rules, as I call it. But let's go into hobby showcasing. Let's see what's going on here. Obviously, most of you can see this, but we do have some people that don't have the Discord, can't see this. So for people on YouTube who they're not a part of the Discord, then they won't be able to see this. You know what I mean? But we have some good shit coming in here. We've got some new people too, which is really fun. So welcome the new people if you haven't already. Here's Neo with some progress on this guide. I'm gonna assume, Neo, this is your Dark Angels with the 30K themed color to them with the red, right? Goes pretty hard. My buddy Maxwell, I went to high school with, by the way, a really good job on this Chaos Spawn. I mean, this thing is just absolutely maniacal looking, diabolical. And the ones GW gives, which look like fucking ass. And they also want a lot of money for them. I think it's because they're trying to get away from Chaos Spawn, but who knows? They might be an 11th edition. But I mean, he did a really good job here. I like the tongue. I like all the muscles. It just looks gross, right? It just looks slimy. And the teeth, he did such a good job on the teeth. And even this horn that's like sprouting out right here, and the claws, like, this thing just looks phenomenal. He did a really good job. I doubt he's evil, but like, kudos to him. He did a really good job. Here's Neo. Yep. Oh, so it is 30K. Themed, just on top of this big old pile of rocks with skulls in it. He did this, by the way. He did this. So he used cork and like whatever else. Dude. Yeah, holding that rifle up in the air just looks super badass. I guess it's a veteran, but it could be a captain just because of this back here. A lot of this. Neo, did your guy come with this scroll right here? Also, look at his arm as well. Has that, like, how much of this you kit bashed? But it looks phenomenal, my friend. Yeah, super fucking dope. Always good as always. And then I asked my buddy Maxwell, like, where he got those Chaos Spawn. He said right here. So really helpful. And for a pretty good price too. Just got to watch out for resin, and you got to make sure that it's supported and everything that you're going to get online. And there's like talks about if they're not done right, then they can melt out resin, and then other minis, stuff like that. So they're having issues with Trench Crusade in particular. If you guys are not up on that. So what else we got? Here's another one of his guys with that awesome looking sword. Just badass with the Grimdark. He did a really good job. I mean, look at the basing on this thing. Just phenomenal, sir. As always. Just looks absolutely badass. Look at the chain around the fucking gauntlet there. The hood. I mean, look at the hood. I'm assuming you did that, didn't you, with green stuff? I'm assuming you did that hood, man. So, yeah, that's badass, Neo. Unless if it just comes like that, then yeah. Yeah, he looks like an Inner Circle companion. I think you're talking about this one up here. Yeah, he is. This one, like Inner Circle companion, right? Yeah. And here's Tyler Alsop. He said, my first Tempesta Scion. Kind of hard to see, but like, I'm a fan of Tempesta Scions. I think they're fucking sweet. So, good job there, sir, as always. Yeah, a little blurry. Is it a Cadian unit? No, Tempesta Scions are special forces. It is Militarum. That's so, and it is in 40K. That's correct. And then Renival even said like they're the elite force made from war orphans. They are nobles. That is correct. Yep. So Neo, here's another one with big old bolter with the aggressor. I'm pretty sure that's that thing looks aggro as fuck. The mud looks very realistic. This is what's on those Gravis guys you got, isn't it? There you see. He put this on here, and it just looks so fucking aggro. It looks badass. So good job. Great job. That's his 3 of 5, so he's got 2 more. Dark Angels and 30 colored schemes. So here's a couple more just to show him off. He's got the light, even though it's like up there, you can still see what's going on. So like he actually did a really good job with this photo. I don't think it ruins anything about this mini at all. So awesome job. What's this back here? What is that? Looks like something almost looks chaos looking over there. What you got going on over there, Neo? Let me go back to the chat. Okay, so Neo said he got that from the Citadel Skull Pack. Is where he got those skulls. Gotcha. Yeah, those look really good. Those are clean. They really are. Okay, so you put the chain and you made your own hood with it. Okay, that's what I thought. Neo. It looks just phenomenal, sir. That looks so badass. Would you use like cloth, or how did you do that hood? Sorry, the mouse is kind of being weird. You know, that hood looks awesome. And the chain, he did that, so that's very, very accurate. You know, it's very lore accurate because like Space Marines and their chains, they love having chains, even Ultramarines. So, WC said, "Is it overpriced or is it actually worth it?" I do have a Skulls kit. I can get it out. I'll show you guys. This is from Ukraine. This is actually a pretty good split off. It took a while to get it in the mail. Let me move something. So, just a moment. Let me move my boots. And let me dig up the skulls that I got. It was actually a really good off Etsy. It just took a while to clear through customs. But they got some sweet skulls because they have Xeno skulls in there too. The skulls that comes in the skull pack, I know which one you guys are talking about. I never bought that just because of the price, but there are some really good stuff with the everything that comes with it. But here it is, Death. So, well, hopefully you guys can see that. I'm sure you can. Yeah. So this one right here comes with a lot of skulls, demon skulls. It comes with orc skulls, Tau skulls, Eldar skulls. So it's more thematic and it's made for 40K. There's even AdMech skulls in here too. As you can see, everything that's on here, all these little guys, they all come with the kit. And I got these, and the resin is clean, very well made. Again, it comes from Ukraine, so it might be a little, you know, obviously they got some shit going on over there, so it might be a while to get it. But, I mean, some of these skulls are just awesome. Like the orc skulls, so if you want to be known for killing orcs, then there you go. And these look really good. They do need some cleanup. Don't get me wrong. They will need some cleanup. But I would strongly recommend checking these out on Etsy. And then we have Space Marine skulls, which are a little bit bigger, right? But I like the fact that they're also in different, like this one's got his mouth open. This one has his mouth closed.
where's the one? Some of them have damage. So if you want damage, like a bolter shell to the skull, here's one with a bionic eye, you know? So these are really, really cool. And I used a lot of these, so I already snipped it off and took a whole thing. They even got Kroot skulls in here. These are Tau skulls, so these are Tau specific. What we got here? We got some human skulls, and then we have some AdMech shit. So this is very orky, so that's like an orc skull, like a servitor skull. You guys know what that is. And then a whole bunch of human skulls, everything. Some of them have like no jaw. So this one, for example, has no jaw. It's just the skull and it's damaged. And then here's some extra stuff. So if you like speakers, if you want to add something that's very AdMech or very Imperial looking, they have that. All these different things going on. This one's just super wacky, very orky. I don't know what the hell kind of a server skull this thing is, but it's just crazy looking, right? This one has like a flame on top of its head, like a circle with flames on its head. Like it's very 40K. So I would highly recommend. Everything looks very good with the detail. It looks very good. So I'd highly recommend this company. It's called Army Gainer is the company that makes it. And I could probably find it online and post it up for you guys. But it comes with a lot. There's 218 skulls in here. There's 12 drones. And then there's 9. So that's, yeah, 218 skulls is a lot. And when you clean them up, they look really good too. And very well, you can still paint them. It's a different type of resin. It's not the same. It's just called Heat Box. So yeah, they're pretty badass. Let's see. Trying to think of what else is on here. Should say it comes from Ukraine. Whatever, but yeah, highly recommended. Let me put this back. Actually, I do need to get generator. I need to get this box out. So let me see what else is in here before I close this up. I'm gonna need this warband, so I'm gonna get this out. I need this for later on. I gotta paint these guys up. All right. Let me close this up. I'm going to put everything back, and then I'll go back to see what's going on. I have quite the system, so sorry if you're hearing a lot of clinks and clanks, but that's how I do things. It's the military guy. Can't help it. Everything has to be really secure and in its own little place. All right. Put that. My laptop is back now, so that's. WC said I'll be out of chat for the next couple of minutes. I'm still listening to the stream. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, let's look over this. Neo said $5 for 340 skulls. That lasts me a long time. Wow. I think there's dragon skulls in there too, isn't it? Yeah, 10 cents-ish. Skull is pretty decent. Literally a napkin. That's interesting how you can get that. A ton of human skulls. Yeah. Oh, it's got orc, a little bit of Tau, some Kroots, even a few large ones for Tyranids. Nice variety. Gotcha. And then skull pack is great. It comes with 172 skulls I like using and 60 other types of heads. Good to go. And then Neo just did burn. He said, excuse me. Renville said stapler? We mean, we don't. All right. So, done. And I got to play a game tomorrow. I'm at, I think, 940 points right now, close to 1,000. And then I'll be using enhancements with my detachment. So something I'm still working on. Oh, sounds like you're stapling something. Oh, it's just the I have plastic like little clamps on them.
Yeah. But I can see how it sounds like that. Oh, Neo said it's literally a napkin that you used for his hood. Oh, okay. Got you, bro. Dunked into texture paste, and so it's kind of like a light paper mache is basically what you did. I mean, it looks great. Good job. Very good. Yes, sir. Okay. So let's see what else we got going on. Neo said, "Fuck no, not the commissar." Where's this shit, dude? What happened? You must have dropped him, huh? I mean, luckily those look like decently clean breaks, so you should glue them back together. Oh, that's horrible. I hate it when that happens. Launch the emergency glue. Yeah, literally. I lost the plasma pistol hand though. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh, Comic changed my display setup for minis today. And he said, I think what I'll do is change the dude's fighting day rule. There we go. So is this something you want to incorporate into your stream by any chance? Curiouser and curiouser. And you got some guys with Necrons up here. They're about to get demolished by this freaking Space Marine up there. I really like this terrain as well. I don't know where you got this terrain from, but that's a really good looking barricade system. I have the same playing mat too, by the way. I have the same. This right here, I have the exact same thing. And this one's all folded up. I think this comes with a starter box, which I do have. So it's actually pretty decent. It looks good too. Yours looks better than mine. Mine will look, you tell all the folds and stuff. And it looks a little bit better. Oh yeah, make a YouTube series out of it. There you go. I always find those roll for mini and documentary Warhammer series and events super fun to tune into. Okay, there you go. Oh, and then yeah, so it is very chaotic. Look at that guy. God damn. Holy shit, he's from us too, man. Woo, he's a bad boy. Emperor's Children, of course. Chain going. I love this fucking, it's like a noise marine terminal. Oh my god, dude. How terrifying would that be on the fucking battlefield, by the way? I love the skulls. I know you did yourself. That's definitely your type of touch. You think the same way I do too, man. Yeah, like this just looks awesome. This looks so good. Even with the pale flesh and the painted face. I love that. I don't know if you're done with this yet, but like it's fucking badass. Yeah, it's like a jackal, part of the jackal's kit I'm getting. A solo cup, LOL. Yeah, from full of mineral spirits. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, because you're doing grimdark stuff, so you're probably using animals. I'm assuming, more than likely. So, all right, I'm gonna stop sharing this. Unless if anyone else has anything else they want to add to this, but I could always go back to it. But let me stop the sharing and we go back to the YouTube. Here we are. Bing bong. So back on the full size here. Not my greatest purchase, but I was a newbie back then. Aw. LED said, what's happening? Hey, what's up, Ellie? Did you leave? I'm going to guess you pieced out. Neo said, we're back.
Yeah, we're back to the normal. These should have dried up pretty well. Let me just check it. There's a little bit of fuzz on this. Yeah, it's pretty dry.
What's up, Manny?
It can't see you. It's facing my hands. You'd have to like stick your face completely under here and it's going to be really blurry.
You can try. All right. Thanks, Maddie.
There you go.
I tried.
Yeah, super awkward. WC just had a whole bunch of hearts. Thank you, WC. Yes. I mean, I could technically change this camera to where you can see. They can't see. Well, I think I could do this. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Come on. You can do it. And I won't go any further. It's kind of, you can kind of see her. She's just going to creep on us.
LED said Maddie. WC said OMG Maddie. She's here.
Hello, everybody.
She sounds super happy because she's been hitting the books lately. So
Yeah.
she's been studying anatomy and she's on the brain right now and the human neck, and it's fucking wild. She gets to look at cadavers too. Looks like turkey meat in my opinion. Yes, I have seen them.
No, you haven't.
Oh yeah, of course. No, I have not.
Because that would be a violation.
That's a breach of HIPAA, even though there's no names on it. But and I still respect it. You know, I'm not like taking pictures of it or anything, but yeah. I get to see her looking at cadavers, and they have them on slideshows, and it's fucking. They got them sectioned off and everything, eyeballs and. Whew, girl. All right, so I'm gonna use XM88, which is my nice little peanut butter. I have this at 6 inches, so right about at elbow height, like at my elbows down, then the camera should have no problem focusing. So I'm not gonna bring it up too close to the camera because of the focusing issues, right? Hey, Hunter, you done? Out here? I was gonna say turn off house. It's okay. I'm just asking. Damn, rip my head off.
I was going to come back
All
out.
right.
Red vine.
All right.
You don't want to watch House?
I'm with my peeps. And it's distraction.
No, it's not.
It can be.
It's
I mean,
a good distraction.
It's a good distraction. Okay.
What am I doing? I'm wearing these tomorrow. I forgot.
Now you gotta go. Are you going in for clinicals?
No, I have, what is this called?
Observation?
Anatomy, but I don't have like class other than anatomy, so I can wear.
Oh, so tomorrow's a short day, huh? No?
I'm still going in early to do the learnings.
Okay. With the all your instructors that are in Puerto Rico or wherever the hell. Yeah. So all of our instructors are in Puerto Rico. So there's some that are given lectures, yeah.
At a conference.
Yeah, they're giving lectures at a conference for CRNAs. So.
And
anesthesiologists, all that fancy schmancy stuff. So.
Because I'm going to be a nurse anesthetist.
Very good, Maddie.
Nurse anesthesia.
That's correct.
I don't know where the clicker went.
You had it last, honey.
You had it last.
No, I did not.
You told me you had it last.
Negatory.
Pository.
Okay. Well, if that's what you say, then that's what you say.
That's what I say, because that's what I say.
Very well.
Good.
Cool. Good talk.
Good talk.
Yeah, good talk. Good talk.
Fine. Bye, friends.
Bye-bye. Maddie's going to bed, so she'll probably watch House in there.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Just make sure you're studying, please.
I kind of am.
All right. You say that. Hopefully the focus is good right now. Yeah, focus is decent. A lot of this looks like it's not really drying quite right, but I'm going to put another layer on this, if anything, so I'm not like super worried about it. I'm going to paint over this anyway. This is just a base. So this is just a base, and then that way when I start doing my camo stuff, if I ever do my camo stuff, I use XM88 as the base color, and it really pops well on this. So that's why I use XM88. It's like a peanut butter color, but it just works out really well. So, hell, I might even just Strickland mud it and just call it a day. So we'll see. But there's one done. Ellie said I drank water today, and everyone's like, wow, congrats. That's good. I'm glad you didn't forget what water is. That's good. How funny. Oh my gosh. She said it was depressing. LED said, never again. It must have been bland, but it's on the way to the road of recovery. Right, WC. At least she's trying to drink water. Like, kind of need that or whatever. Here's another boy. Go ahead and get him good and got. These are the ones I'll be using tomorrow in my little game. That's at 4 o'clock. So I'll be going in there probably around like 350-ish. The guy I was talking to said he's already going to have the table set up. So he's just really eager to destroy me. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's not a hobby nightmare tale, but even if it is, I'm okay with that. You got to have your first hobby nightmare and get it out of the way. You know, if you guys ever watch Hobby Nightmares, it's kind of funny. I like listening to those. So I know like Northern Exile, he likes to do those a lot, but I'm not a big fan of Northern Exile. Like I don't like him as a person. He comes off a little douchey to me personally. A little bit of a know-it-all. But he does have some funny content, I will say. Fuck hydration. Setup and cover? Okay, good to know, Renable. I know you were asking if I've ever played 40K before. I've never played a full game, bro. And this is 1,000 points, which is the most I've ever played. So to answer your question, I'm still very new to this, homie. Yeah. Setting up and cover is a good thing. I'll be playing Deceptors. Is my attachment for my CSM, and just because I like the way that it should play. Ideally, there's a lot of things that you get to do. Like if you're infiltrating, you can do a lot more infiltration with Deceptors, and that means you get on objectives a lot faster, or your guys get quicker into the. If you want to engage in all fronts, that's like a give me basically. So, well, not engage on all fronts, but like, sorry, what's it called? Oh, never mind. I'm talking out my ass. I apologize. I feel so empty without me. Na, 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 na. And then WC said, last time I played 1,000 points, I got so cooked, I bought a tank. Damn. Yeah. This guy's. I'm not expecting this guy to go too easy on me, but I didn't ask him to. By the way, I didn't say like, please be nice with me, Mr. Black Templars. Like, no, if I want to learn, and I mean, if he's gonna play how he's gonna play, I'm not gonna ask him to fucking, talk slow to me or anything like that. I need the. I just want the experience, really. I just want to see how my guys play. I'm not expecting to win. I'm definitely expecting to lose, but I will try to do a little battle report. So I will take notes, especially like what units get killed, and I'll keep track of that, and like I'll try to keep track of all that. I'll have like a little binder. I have a battle binder that I have. I'll bring that with me. So yeah. A repulsor executioner to send Angron back to hell. Yeah, dude. Oh, and he said, or set up a choke points to hurt the enemy to score. Oh, okay. Now, when you say choke points, you mean like a funnel? Like a fatal funnel, or how do you mean by that? So, and I don't have many legionaries, which sucks. I only have one. I have 2 5-man teams. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to split them up because I want them to do more coverage on the field. And the Deceptors detachment play style, I think, is like smaller man units. So, and then I have I do have a Chaos Lord, and I do have a Master of Executions, which will be attaching to 1 or 2 of them. So I can have a 5-man squad or a 10-man squad. But the cool thing about the Master of Executions and a Chaos Lord is you can attach them to the unit, but they don't count as that like 5. It's kind of interesting. I'm still trying to get my head around it. So Renival said, do you know what stratagems are? Yes, I do. They are things that you can use your CP on, and your stratagems are part of your detachments. And then there's also like your core rule stratagems. So like grenade, for example, is a stratagem. As I understand it, you can elect to use these. You pay with points, or if there's certain conditions, you're allowed to use these, and they can like buff your army or kind of like that, Renival. I might not have said it as intelligently as possible, but that's how I understand them as. So they're kind of like extra things that you can use to boost your army while you're in game mode. So you elect it and you tell them that I'm using this stratagem. If it costs 2 CP or 1 CP, then that's how it's going to go. I'm assuming we're going to start off with 10 CP each. That's usually how it goes, that I understand it. And you want to use those. You don't want to hold on to them, but you want to use them at the right time. So is it not? No. Oh, you start at 9? Oh, okay. You start at 9. And you said 0. Maybe it depends. Okay, you start at 0. Oh, okay. Maybe it depends on if you're doing campaign or whatever, which I'm not doing. We're not doing campaigns. We're just playing standard 40K. And then I know you get a CP at every start of your turn. So when there's a new turn, before you start your command, like in your command phase, you get one more. Yep, there it is. Exactly, runnable. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if you start off with a CP or because I know you get the CP every turn. So yeah, in the command phase, then you could choose to save it or if you want to use it. But you have to use it. Oh, he gets, yeah, exactly. So I get 1, and then when he goes into CP, he gets 1. Or when he goes into his turn, he gets 1 as well. So, yeah. And there are some pretty decent stratagems. Let me look this over. I don't want to like bore you guys with this shit, but let me just quickly look this over. I'm not going to show it off, but let me just double check. So I'm using Deceptors, which not many people play, by the way. Okay. Yeah, scrambled coordinates, relentless pursuit. Another reason why I like the Deceptors is because their stratagems don't cost a lot, and they're actually relatively easy to understand. So like detonator, coils of deception, relentless pursuit, scrambled coordinates from all sides, pick them off. They're all just 1 CP cost. So, but if you look at ones like Veterans of the Long War, which is very popular, some of these are 2 CP. So and that means you don't even get to use everything, right? Unless if you want to save it up. But I like the Deceptors. I think it's fucking badass. And the fact that you're able to declare your number of units, these guys basically get, let me look it up here. You can improve your armor penetration. Da-da-da-da. That doesn't matter. One to your charge. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I don't want to bore you guys with the details. My dog said, "What's up? What's up, Ellie's dog?" Yeah, our bunnies
what's up to Ellie's dog. We have 3 rabbits. WC said my favorite stratagem from Anvil Siege, so that's Space Marines, lets me select a unit and give it sustained hits 1, and if it hasn't moved, it gets criticals on 5. 5 ups, yeah. Interesting. And then Reneville said you get 2 per round. Yours and his, yeah. We each get 1. Okay, interesting. So whoever's first probably is a little bit advantageous there. Unless you have rules, OFC, runnable. Let's see here. And then WC said also, yeah, for example, captains reduce the cost of stratagems on a unit once per battle round by 1 CP. Damn. Yeah, that's pretty badass. With no minimum. Wow. His name is Crust. That's funny. Iron Warrior for 2. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you. Welcome for joining. We're just I'm just painting up some things, but I got a game tomorrow, so see how I do. I only got 1,000 points. I'm not doing a full 2,000 points, but be bringing my boys in and see how they do. They're probably going to get absolutely stomped by the Black Templars, but hey, it serves the heretics right. It's what they get for joining Chaos. I can say that. It's okay. Like, just because you have the army doesn't mean you have to, you know. Some people embody it, right? Like, for me, it's fun to think about it, but, like, personally, I love the Imperium more, you know? But I like playing the bad guys. That's just me. And they just look badass. I just like the rule of cool. So, but also, so many people pick Space Marines all the time. I'm like, I mean, Chaos, people choose Chaos, but I feel like less people choose Chaos. So I like to kind of be a bit of a contrarian, and I like to pick a different unit, right? Because, like, if you play in the LGS and your gaming hall and it's all the same guys all the time playing the same shit, it's good to kind of switch it up and bring in some bad boys, you know, some chaos units and change it up a little bit. So I'd imagine, you know, Space Marines killing Space Marines doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So, but sometimes it do be like that. But I think they're going to like me bringing my chaotic forces into the fold. So they could have a new punching bag. We'll see. Maybe I'll do okay. So I'm not a veteran of this at all. Hell, I'm still even technically new to the hobby. I would still consider myself a kid, a little infant, compared to some people who've been playing Warhammer for a very long time. I've known about it for a long time. I know the lore. That's how I started. But actually painting and actually getting ready to, or like actually playing games, like I'm still pretty new to that, man. So I have a decent understanding. I've watched a lot of battle reports. Maybe not enough, but probably more than your average person watches if they're just getting into this. But I've watched a lot. What else we got going on? Oh, your cousin's over. Okay, that's good to go. Hello, warrior of iron in the 42nd Legion. That's so funny. WC said, Travis, did you just lift the pot by its lid to get paint out of it? Yeah, just very barely, though. Just a little bit. And I just closed back up. So just a little bit. I hope that makes sense, but I just kind of take a little bit and then I just kind of close it up. So I don't keep it open personally. Sometimes I have it like half closed, and that's where I get into trouble because then I forget that it's still open. But some people keep their pots open. For me, I got to get better with closing them because I have a tendency to forget and then they start to dry up. So I've had that happen multiple times. Raise your hand if that's happened to you too. So oopsie poopsies. It happens. All right, that guy's base, pretty decent. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes I do a double base with XM88. Reneville said you should get a wet palette. I have one. I do have a wet palette. I
I haven't really had much of an opportunity to use it enough. As crazy as that sounds, just my painting style. I have a tendency to use way too much and not like I only do one color at a time, right? So I understand the wet palette. I understand what it's supposed to do, but I'm just for whatever reason, I don't know. It just doesn't really work for me just yet. And I've tried using it, and what I end up doing is wasting paint. I end up wasting paint is what I end up doing. It is good for blending, but the consistency to me is a little too watered down sometimes. I like a little bit of opacity, but it's just me, right? It's just me. So just a little bit. Close her back up. But I don't want to say the wet palette's bad. I don't want to say that. It's just for me, I haven't justified it enough by using it enough to be like, yeah, I want to use this thing. It's the best thing ever. If you're an experienced painter, I could imagine the wet palette being awesome because you're using so many different colors to build your army. For me, I'm not there yet. Like I have it. I've used it multiple times, but I just end up wasting paint because I put it down and I'm like, oh, I'll use this. It won't dry as fast, right? But then I end up just wasting paint and leaving it on there for too long, or I want to use it, like let's say I get tired, right? I get tired. I want to take a break. I cover it up. Sometimes I leave it overnight and, yeah, it shouldn't dry at all. Yeah, it really shouldn't. But the consistency kind of gets watered down is what I found. Or you have to like remix it up a little bit. Again, I could be doing it a little wrong. I don't want to say I'm perfect, right? But I bought the wet palette because everybody said it's the bee's knees. It's the best thing ever. And Squigmar uses it and you should use it too, and I've yet to find it really benefit me for the way that I paint, but I know that I will evolve into it and I will use that wet palette eventually. No doubt. Yeah, Ironware referred to says a good idea of using the glove on your mini so you don't, get your fingerprints on it. Exactly. Yep. Because I have a tendency to, sometimes when I'm sweating or also just like you're talking about, just smudging things. Yeah, I just use the glove. I used to put it on both hands. It depends on how big the mini is. If it's a big mini, I need both hands covered because I have to hold it a certain way, right? But yeah, using gloves has been just, I almost can't paint without it sometimes because I'll like find myself painting without a glove. And then I'm like, oh shit. And I start smearing it or I start sweating and rubbing some of the paint off or the primer. So I find myself putting this glove on a lot more, and I'm really glad that I did. So, and I've seen some of the pros do it as well. Ones that are on YouTube or people who do, like I follow people on Instagram or on YouTube Shorts. A lot of them tend to also paint with a glove or both gloves, right? Like both hands in gloves. This is a nitrile, so this is a 6 mil glove. I bought this at, where the hell did I go for? Oh, Home Depot. I just went to Home Depot and I'll show them off if you're curious. They're kind of expensive, like $16 for I think it was like either it was $13 or $16, but you get 40. And I kind of like the form factor it comes in because it's kind of like baby wipes, right? But like you just pop it open and you can just pull a glove out. So I kind of like that. And I bought 3 packs just because I'm like, hey, I'm going to need them more eventually. I might as well just buy all 3. So yeah, not a bad idea. And these work fine. They're very comfortable too. And these are medium. And my hands are like, I guess, relatively small. I don't have big hands, but like medium's a pretty good fit for me. So if you got really tiny hands, yeah, I'd probably use a small. So, and they go up to like extra large, which is pretty big. Let's see, comments. So I got all 3 of these all painted with the peanut butter XM88. I'm just going to let them dry in the meantime while I go over comments. Rival said, do we need to make time for a painting class? And then WC said, I can let paint sit there for half a month, it'll still be wet. Wow. And then WC said, I think we do. LED said, crafty boy, make fucking sense. WC said, to fix the water problem, you just need to add a dash of the solid paint to the corner and it thins perfectly. Okay. WC said, the corner of the watery point, I mean. Okay, so like to get it a little bit more opacity, a little bit thicker. Gotcha. And then WC said, I just paint in cold areas so I don't really sweat. Yeah, that's a good idea. I have a fan over here now, like a fucking actual fan that I do turn on when I get really because I start to sweat. So, well, LED said, crafty boy, make fucking sense. LED, I don't know what you want from me. You know, like, fucking shit. Iron Warrior 42 said, what varnish do you use for minis? So, I have Vallejo and I have Army Painter. So, I have a matte finish. And this is for like rocks or clothing, things that I want to look matte on purpose. And this is an anti-shine. So far, it's been pretty good. And then I have Vallejo, which is a satin. So this is in between a gloss and a matte. So this is like a semi matte, if you will. So satin works really good for armor. It actually works decent for skin. But sometimes I just use this and then I go over it with this if it's skin so it doesn't look too shiny. But I'm sure there's better stuff out there. You know, like Vallejo makes good stuff. So I trust them. Army Painter's decent. I wish this was a little bit better. It kind of comes out like Elmer's glue. But when it dries, it's actually pretty good. I usually put 2 coats, 2 to 3 coats, depending on what it is, just to make sure that it's protected on the mini. And these 2 bottles I've had for a very long time. And I'm not even close to halfway with either of them, which is fucking wild, by the way. I've used a lot of this shit. I use this stuff liberally. And I'm still not even halfway on either bottle. Like this is probably 3/4 full, which is insane. So, and they're so tiny, but you only need a couple drops. And I usually use it on like a damp brush and I just put it on there and it does a pretty good job. So hope that helps, sir. I'll take my glove off too to let it kind of dry out. So let my hand dry out. Yeah, WC, if you ever want to do a wet palette instruction video, man, please do. I'll watch it. Because I have it. I don't find myself using it. I mean, some people could say I paint slow. Maybe. There you go. So yeah, I have the damn thing. I bought it because I was told to. All the pros say get this thing, right? But I don't know. I don't find myself really liking it because the consistency just isn't there. You know, I'll try it again, dude. Or I'll do it right now. Fuck it, I'll do it right now. We're doing it live. I mean, I can do it right now. Let me see. Do I have enough things to paint though? Let me check. Hold on. That's another problem is I use a wet palette. Like I use a wet palette, right? But like I only have like 2 or 3 colors on here. You know, so it's like I feel like I'm wasting the paper. I'm wasting the paint because I only use a couple colors at a time. You know, I don't put everything down. You can. I'm not saying you can't. Like if I'm doing from painting start to painting finish, yes. And I have seen usually what the pros do is they get dropper bottles, they put it and they separate the colors. That way you know what they are. And that's fine. You know, that works. Back to the comments here. We got 9 people in here. This is awesome. And if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. I really appreciate it. I've already subscribed. Hey, much love. Thank thank you for joining me tonight. So we're going for over an hour and a half, and that's great. I'm cool with that. And there he is, man. What's up, dude? He said, I got my Captain Gravis armor primed by a friend since it's too cold outside prime. Yeah. My place, and I'm thinking about painting the cape in the checkered border color. Ooh, board color. Okay, that's for a Lamenter Captain, and that's really cool. I did see one person I follow to do the checkered stuff. That's a hard pattern to do, right? But I've heard if you use contrast paint, like a contrast black, it's a really good way to like trace and outline how you want to do it before you commit. And it looks really good. Same with like hazard stripes too. So just a thought. I mean, if you want to do the other route of actually like mask taping everything, but when it comes to like a cloak, that's really hard to do. I would probably sub-assembly that too. So I would paint the cloak specifically by itself before I attach it on my mini. That's just me. That's just how I would do it. I would try to do it, you know. And then Arvin said, I've been thinking about cheating by using a Sharpie to do it. I mean, definitely get just a way to just to get that pattern down. I don't know if a Sharpie would work. I've never tried Sharpie on primer. I would imagine it wouldn't work very well, but I could be totally wrong, guys. I could be totally fucking wrong. So getting that pattern to be even. I would imagine also on the folds, right, of like the cape, you have to make sure that it kind of lines up a certain way. That's also really hard to do. I'm not very good at that. It would take me a couple attempts to do it. Even myself as being an artist, I still think that's really fucking hard to do. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you just got to think of it. You just got to think about how you're going to do it. That thinking and preparing is like 95% of it. And then the rest of it's just executing. So yeah, the pattern to be even. Exactly, dude. And then WC said, there's two types of models of Captain and Gravis. He said the one with the rifle and the one with the power fist.
They're coming out with 2 more Avatar books.
Oh, okay. Good to go. And then he said the other one's with a gauntlet bolter. Ooh, I would go with the bolter for sure. So that's badass. And then shouldn't really affect anything else, Ellie. Oh, that's recording. Sorry for the yawns. I'm getting tired, guys. Jeez, I've been up early every day, so got a lot of things going on. Reneville said I'll be getting the camera soon. Can live stream and record to help. Oh, that'd be dope. Sure, Reneville. Travis, I suspect I know your issue. Palette paper? Yes, I do. Yes, I do have palette paper. And he said, do you squeeze out excess water after wetting the sponge? No, I do not. I keep it wet. I'll drain it if it's like too much water, but I like a good amount of water on top of the palette. Another thing that's annoying is how it curls up. That, you know what I'm talking about? The paper that curls up, like it's so fucking annoying. I'm like, just fucking stay. So I get it really wet and I try to like smooth it out, right? Like I have a little thing to help smooth it out, but then it curls up again. And I'm like, what the hell? And they do recommend to use distilled water. I just use tap water. But I do need to get a gallon of distilled water because that's what's recommended with it. I don't know if you use that, WC, but I've heard that distilled water is a better way of doing it. And then Reneville said, or even baking paper. Oh, okay. Yeah. So baking paper could work too. Yeah. I mean, if you want to make your own, you can make your own wet palette. You don't have to go out and buy a sexy one like I have. It's just the sponge underneath is really, and then the fact that you can close it up and use it later, apparently, allegedly. But I go to open it up and all the fucking colors are just wet and smeared. And I'm like, crap, now I have to put more on it and I have to mix it up. And you got to make sure it comes out right. So it's just a little bit of inconsistency because of how wet it is. Down a little too much sometimes. Again, yeah, it basically is paper, like like baking paper kind of, but I do use that. Yes. Iron Warrior 4 says I only use a wet palette to thin my paints and keeps it a same consistency. Otherwise, I won't use it. Interesting. That is interesting. Arvin said the checkered board is going to be on the outside. The inside that facing the mini is going to be pure white. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the trim is going to be gold. Yeah, that's going to look really good. Check helpful channel on the Discord. Okay, Renoval, so you posted something in there. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Renoval just says I use tap water. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, good to go, WC. Yeah. And then you want to squeeze out excess water every time you use the wet sponge. Oh, really? That reduces the paint becoming watery by a huge amount. Oh. Oh, so you want to have it like damp. Oh, yeah, I've been keeping it wet as fuck. I guess I have been using it wrong. Okay, you want it damp. Okay. I have that thing like filled up to the brim almost. Almost, but I do like pour some of it out, you know? But then I put it back and then it just paper gets all crinkly and fucked up. But if you press it, a bunch of water comes out, it's too wet. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so yeah, I probably have been using it wrong then, obviously. Yeah, no wonder why. Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, it gets too watery, and I'm just like, what the hell? It's like runny, like way too runny when I use this thing. Again, I don't have the parchment paper on here. This is dry, but that's good to know. And then this is the black side, which keeps down. So at least that's what they say. I don't know why. I don't know why it matters. Maybe it's the sponge porous. Yeah, it looks like the porous. This is a little bit thicker. And then this backside is kind of porous. So you want to squeeze out the excess. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you, WC. Yeah, so I've been probably using it wrong. Rookie mistake, right? But like then they talk about using distilled water and all this fucking shit. And I'm like, really? You have to use all that? Like, goddamn. Let me see the instructions here. Yeah, it says in step 4, pour out the excess water until just a small amount of water remains visible around the sponge. That's kind of ambiguous, you know, but yeah, that's probably why. And then you got to make sure you let it soak, yada, 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 because you don't want it to like curl up and everything. That's a good point too. Here's another problem I found with doing this, bro. And I think this is a big issue I have. And I'll tell you guys, this is what sucks. Oh, God, this is so silly. So this table that I'm painting on is actually slanted. It's slanted, and the shitty part is because if I use a wet palette, it's slanted a little bit, enough to where it pulls the water down. And I've seen that also be an issue. I wish this was straight up, but I see this thing, it can kind of like, sometimes stuff slides or fall. I have this pad on here, but it's kind of tilted. So I'll probably have to take this and put it somewhere else. So it's perfectly, you know, like this isn't like a normal table. This is technically meant for computers and stuff. Yeah, exactly, WC. Yeah, that is another problem I just thought about that I have encountered while using the wet palette, is just the fact that it tilts it ever so slightly, and it just sucks. And I don't have a flat table near me. I have this, which is what I put my laptop on. So I'd have to move my laptop. I'd put this here, and then I'd be like basically painting over here when I should be painting over here. So I think that's another issue I came into. I know it's a little silly, but just because of my setup and everything I have here, it kind of is another way to kind of make it, you know, it is inconvenient. Renoval said, why not place a slightly cut of a coaster to even out? I have thought of that too. That's not impossible. Now I think I can do it. I would put it down here. So if I had, because I wouldn't need this anymore. You don't need this shit anymore. Well, no, you'd need this to like wash off. And I use this just to like dry it off and everything. But this could be moved up. And then these are all whatever. So let me see how I do this. Hold on. I also have like limited. I have all this paint out. Like, oh my God, dude. So chaotic. all these brushes. Like, good God. Let me see if I can do this, guys. Hold on. Let me see how this would look, right? I got my microphone over here. So I would probably try to put it like this. And I have room for it. And I have my this here. See what I'm saying? I'm kind of fighting for space too. But if I move all this crap out of the way and I put the paint on this, then I don't have to have as much out. So that's another good idea. Yeah, Renoval. Yeah, I still need the water in the napkin. Yeah, exactly. This is just something from the acrylic. Yeah, so I think because I would put it here, which would probably make, I could even put it like this, where it's more in the middle, and then I could just use it, I guess. I kind of like it off to the side though. And then, geez Louise, do they make mini palette wet palettes? I need like half the size of this. Maybe that's what I should do. Just get a smaller one. Yeah, and then I'll use a coaster. That's a good idea too, Renoval, to like prop it up. That way it's straight. You know, because it's like right now it's kind of like at an angle. So I'd have to find a way, like with a coaster, like you're talking, which you do have coasters, or something that I could put under here, and then I'll put a bubble level on it. I'm like that psychotic, and I'll make sure that it's fucking level. So that's just the military man in me. I'm like, it has to be perfectly, you know, perfectly freaking even and everything. And I'll probably like tape it down too, or so that way it doesn't move as much. That's a good idea. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it all out. I wish I had a big table here, but like I have the table over there, but that's my computer table, so I can't put my stuff over there because this is the only corner I have, you know, like in the whole apartment. I wish I had more room, but the wife, she has the entire office because she actually needs it. So I don't even have any room in there. We have a 2-bedroom apartment, but we just use the second one for the rabbits and the office. So all I have is this little corner behind the couch. That's all I have. It's like a little nook. So yeah, Renoval said my art stuff is sharing space with my computer. I've seen that too, dude. I've seen many setups where there's like fucking the keyboard is like literally here and there's like shit all over the place. It's kind of funny. Oh, who's leaving? Hold on. WC said I gotta go. Okay, all right, bye WC. Much love, bro. Much love, much love. Thank you for stopping by, WC. I appreciate it, man. Good night, good night. Thank you as always, my friend. Yeah, Arvin said at least your table is in an 89-degree angle. Yeah. Oh, that'd be even more awkward. Yeah. Because it was just like almost perfectly at a 90, but it's like just 1 degree off. You're like, ah, that's funny. LED said, sorry if I left. My friend was telling me about the new work. Oh, okay. You're good, Ellie. You're good. My friend told me when a guy walked in, she was all over him. Oh boy. Got some romance going on, huh? That's funny. Where does she work at? I'm curious. What does she do? LED said, rawr. Round guy. He said, usually just a lurker, but I use a shallow saucer cup with a 1-inch piece of sponge to moisten my brush. Oh. And because it's glass, it cleans easy after each paint session. Been doing that for over 20 years. Oh, well, thank you, round guy. I didn't know. Yeah, well, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm still learning the best ways of doing it, right? So I've been painting for a little while. I do not consider myself an expert, but I am looking for ways to improve it. So you recommend a saucer cup with a 1-inch piece of sponge. So when you say a piece, do you mean like cubed 1 inch? Or do you mean like 1 inch thick and it's like the whole sponge and you just keep that to moisten my brush? And because it's glass, it cleans easy after each paint session. Yeah, you can just dig it out if need be.
Been doing that for 20 years. Interesting. So you don't even use a regular cup, and because this is like kind of damp, but that's just because I've been using it for all night. Arvin said I gotta go. Take care, Kat. All right, man. Take care, brother. Thank you for stopping by, Arvin, as always, my friend. Thank you, dude. You have a good night. Okay. Round guy said just a piece I cut off a sponge. I put paint directly on the saucer. Oh, interesting. I cut off a sponge and I put paint directly on the saucer. Okay, so it's almost like your form of a wet palette, but it's just like it's actually like basically a palette, essentially, is how you do it. Interesting. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, round guy. I appreciate it, my friend. And he's for you for 20 years. Hey, if it works, right? And it's like, what do you think of this whole wet palette idea? Do you think this is necessary or is this overkill? You know, this is kind of a newer thing. I don't want to say it's like super new, but like it seems to be taking things by storm. Like, you know, all the AI fucking ads and shit. Like, this is changing everything. I mean, I have it, but I barely even use the damn thing. I barely even use it, man. So it each their own, right? But Reneville said also, if you can't see the bottom of your water pot, you just need to dump it and get a fresh, clean water. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. It's starting to get there. It's already dirty. Yeah, I probably need to. I usually wash this thing out. I do not keep it. So usually once to twice a day, I wash this out. And it depends on like using red. You know, red will really bleed into the water. And then when you start using your freaking paintbrush, if you go to wash it off, it's going to come off as red. So if I'm changing the color to like a green or a brown, well, brown and red are somewhat similar. You could kind of get away with it. But if I wanted like blue, for example, like red's not going to cut it. So I'm going to change that water out. And I actually clean this too. I actually like use a paper towel with some soap and I actually clean the inside of this thing out. That way there's no residue. So round guy says, I use the sponge to keep moisture on the brush. Okay. He said, I also use an exemplar. For an example, I'm looking at now was a Kickstart founder that takes up too much space. Okay. Oh, exemplar. That's this. Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah. I think it takes up too much space too, man. That's another problem I have. Exactly, dude. All right, Ellie. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. Much love. Much love. Awesome, Ellie. You take care. Have a good night. Yeah, I think it takes up too much space too, man. Like, I just want to like cut this in half, and I just want that much. That's all I want. Like, I'm sure if you're painting a lot, or you're working on like a really big figure, and you want to have all the paint to paint that big thing, then yeah, that would make sense. But like, this thing's huge, man. I'm not saying I hate it, but I wish it was just like cut this fucker in half. Give me that. I would rather have that personally. Because I only have this much space. That's all I have to work with, just because of room, unfortunately. And I'm glad I at least have this. But, yeah. And then Reneville said, do you have a brush cleaner? I do. Yes, I do. Yes. It's technically used for like makeup brushes, but I do have brush cleaner. And then I do use real brush soap, or like artist soap, if you will, that I do use to like actually clean this and to clean this too. So I'm not using like Dawn or anything because I found that that's too harsh, especially for synthetic brushes. It's going to dry it out, you know? So I don't use that on these. And then I do a brush shaper, which kind of works. I don't know. It's all right. But again, these are just cheap throwaway brushes. I do have nicer brushes, of course, like nicer synthetics. I don't have any real hair ones. And even if I do have any real hair ones, I don't really see
it's, I don't know, maybe they paint better. If I'm a really good artist, I could probably tell the difference. You know what I mean? But like as a newer to painting minis, like a brush is a brush, but there are better, like this is considered one of my better, like higher end brushes, if you will, for a synthetic. I like the way this paints. I'm happy with these, curate and color. But like for your standard, these aren't like dollar store cheap, no, but these are like a step up above that for sure. But I have multiple packs of these, like Royal and Land Nickel. I like these ones a lot. And they have good brush sets that are perfect for mini painting, in my opinion. So I just buy a pack of them, and they're like $6 at Hobby Lobby. That's like nothing to me. So that's how I do it, at least. Excuse me. And then Reneville said it's not about the amount of paint. If the amount of different colors you have on the sheet and a space to blend a few parts of colors. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. So like for this big one, if you're going to blend it like you're talking about, right? So for me, I'm going to go based off the color wheel essentially. So like brown's over here, maybe black's over here, right? Red's in the middle, orange, yellow, whatever. Green would be probably all the way over here. Blue's right here. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe like purples, which kind of go with red. And kind of go a little bit with brown too. You know? So that's just the way that I would probably lay this out. And then in the middle is where I would actually like mix the paints if I were to. I just got to keep track of what's what. And we colors, like these at least have, at least on the bottle, I know what the hell it is. So, and if I'm gonna mix it, I would put it on the wet palette and I would mix it. So, but then I'm only using it for mixing. I'm not really using it for painting as much. That's just how I found myself doing it. But like, I'll use the wet palette next time. And I'm sure everything that you guys recommended will probably improve it, because I've been clearly doing it wrong, right? So it just says get rid of excess water. It doesn't say how much, you know. But if you're saying keep it damp, but you want to like squeeze the water out, like that's totally different. So I would probably take more water out. That way it's not as moist. And then ideally this thing shouldn't curl up on me as much, and ideally it should work as intended, and then I can close it up and then use it again tomorrow, which is awesome. That's the power of the wet palette, right? And that's why a lot of artists love it, because then you don't have to keep reaching for your pots. You don't have to keep worrying about your palette getting dry or doing it the old-fashioned way. You know, for me, I paint the way that I paint. I'm not saying it's the best way to do it. There's always better ways to do it, and I'm always looking to improve. And I think incorporating this again will probably be a good way for me to boost this up. But like I literally just take it from the pots. If I need to water it down, then I'll just literally, before I grab any paint, I'll just get my brush wet, and then I'll just dunk it in there, you know. Or if I want to have it a little bit like thicker, however the fuck I want to do it. So there's like a million ways to skin a cat, no doubt. So. Okay, so Reneville said that curling happens when the ton of paper is dry while under it is wet. Yeah, because you want to let it like for 20 seconds. That's what the thing said, is 20 seconds for it to spread out. But then I just have to make sure that this is at a good even thing. And I want to make sure that sponge isn't too dry, or vice versa. The paper is too dry and the sponge is wet, and there's like a disparity there. So that's good to know. Okay. And then Reneville also said, so before putting down, just pour a little water. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, so just pour a little bit of water out. Okay. Or put a little bit of water in, you know, spread the water on top of paper with your fingers and the water. Yep. Exactly. Yes. And I've done that with this, and even still, it still fucking curls, or it gets all bumpily and rumply. You know what I'm talking about? So Neo said I returned. I went to eat spring rolls. Nice, dude. We're just talking about the wet palette. So just talking about the wet palette, the good old wet palette, and how people use it. As for me, I've just been painting out of the pots and just literally using these. Or I even put it on here, this damp paper towel, and I just use this sometimes, and it kind of works, but this is more elite. I have no doubt about that. I know it's better. It's just incorporating it and like using it appropriately is the issue that I've been having. Like, this thing's so big that, like you said, it doesn't really matter how much paint you have on it, it's how you use it. But it's just takes up a lot of space. So, but I will start utilizing this, guys. And if I like how it's going, then I'm sure it's fine. It's just every time I've used it, I don't get the right consistency that I'm looking for. That's just me, but everyone's different, right? So, but I'll change it. I'll change it up. I'll see how it goes. I eat my paint first, is what Neo said. That's funny as fuck. You gotta sniff it and fucking eat it. Eat the paint chips, bro. You start seeing different colors, you know. You start painting your minis like rainbow colors and shit. You're like, this looks awesome. In reality, you're just painting it in black. You're just so fucking stoned, you don't even know what's going on. Renival said you got to press to get the air bubbles out, then let it rest a tad. Okay. Round Guy said wet palettes or not, it's like a choice of brand. We all have our favorite. If it works for you, then that's what matters. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And Neo said I dry Kulfi one wet palette. Okay. It's smaller and I've used it for months. Oh, it's smaller. Let me look this up, bro. I like small. Let me look this thing up. Thank you for that, Neo. Because that's what I'm looking for. That's why I haven't been using it, because it's so big and it takes up so much freaking space on my table. And I find myself like, it just keeps getting in the way. Oh, it is a tiny little thing. Oh, wait, Exemplar has a small one now. Oh, they freaking would. Okay. It's the Go. So it's 4.5 by 9 inches. It's a little bit smaller than this. This one's huge. Like, I just bought this because I was told, like, you need to get a wet palette. I'm like, okay. And I go to my local gaming store, and this is the only one they had, so I bought it. I just haven't had much luck with it. But this one's a little bit tinier. Look at how cute this little thing is. It's so tiny. It's low profile and portable. Let's see. So this is an idea. I'll add this to my bookmarks, but I'll look at the other one that you recommended, that Kulfi. Let me see if I can find that real quick, bro. I already have a dry brush palette, which I do think I like. Is this it? Because it's the all-in-one, I'm guessing. See if I can find it, bro. Oh, I see it. It's probably like a little dude. I think I see it. I'm gonna get. Is it the all-in-one? Is that the one you're talking about? Because this one looks a lot smaller. Yeah, this looks a lot more appropriate for what I would need. You can like hold it in your hand. It's so tiny. Hold the other one in your hand too, but I'm assuming that's what you're talking about there, my dude. Go to YouTube. Here we are. Said when I change, I notices the paint lasts longer before needing new scoops and a smoother buildup on layers. Okay, yeah, if you're doing that, that's true. I'm back. Melatonin isn't working. Well, LED, you gotta allow melatonin to work. I don't know if you knew it, but there's actually instructions on it. So maybe I'll give this away or something. Like, I don't really care. Maybe I'll do this as a giveaway. You know, like if someone else wants it, but I don't know, it's just too big. It's nice. I'm sure it's fine, but it's got other stuff in here too. Never used any of this. No desire to. It doesn't even help. I'd rather have this stupid thing out and just put my brushes in here. Just gotta make sure the brush fits. I can fit your brushes in here. You can fit your brushes in here if you want to bring this thing with. So if I was like on the go and like going to a local game store and we had like painting night, then yeah, I'd probably bring this with. You know, like this is fine. This makes sense for that. But I would still need this. I still need paper towel. You know, just the basics. Let me put this away. I have my airbrush too. I love my airbrush. Neo said, Travis, I pinged you with the wet palette I use in its size. Okay. It's probably the same one I'm looking at, but let me check it on Disco. Thank you for that, Neo. I appreciate it, brother. Old Ron said he's got a comic that he wants to try to sell. So if anybody's interested, let me go to my actual direct messages here. No, maybe it's not in DM. Oh, I see it. Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, gotcha, brother. Okay, thank you, Neo. Yeah, that's perfect size. Yeah, just a little thing, right? Maybe a little bit bigger, but like that's fine. Like that's all you really need, exactly, dude. Awesome. No, okay. All right, I appreciate that picture, man. Thank you. Thank you. And we got another person in here. Kai71 just landed. Hey, what's up, man? I'm gonna say what's up. Sweet. And then Renival also posted in the links and resources what his looks like. Paper. Okay. And I can do a screen share so that way you guys can see what we're looking at here. Let me go ahead and do that for those that are wondering, because I'm talking, but like it doesn't really help if you care about it, right? All right, so here we are inside the Discord, and then this is still here for whatever reason, but this is his what he uses is a wet palette. So Renival, here's his board right there. That's fine. But then he has his base over the sponge, and I'm assuming is this a dedicated right here, dude? It looks like it. I don't know if you're able to cover that or not, but that's what Renival uses, and he's using almost every freaking inch of this darn thing for it, and you're able to distinguish it pretty good. I can kind of tell what's going on here. Like this looks to be silver. We got some blues, a little bit of copper. It looks like copper. Oranges and reds are all kind of like that's how I would do it. I would have like oranges, reds, and yellows over here, and then like blues and like purples kind of over here maybe. I would do something very similar to that. And then WC is just in here talking, so that's fine. And then he just said run a little bit of water over to stop it from curling. So just on top of that, before you put the which makes sense, right? And then is it general chat? Was it general chat? Where'd you put that? He was under hobby showcasing. Yeah, here it is. And then here's the setup. So for those that are right here. So this is what Neo uses. This is his little wet palette right here. He's also got the paint mixer. He's bougie like that. You guys, Grimdark Paints over here. I see you. I see you with the enamels, I'm guessing. And then here's the paints, obviously. He's been using this space for quite a while. This is your cup for water, probably what you use. So, yeah. But that's a good size. That's not too big. It's not like the Exemplar. The one I have is fucking huge. So, yeah, thanks for sharing that, guys. I appreciate it. All right, so back to the live. Go ahead and end the share. So we're back here. Hello.
Okay. Oh, also sells a small one that you can use to store your brushes. Oh, that's dope. Good to know. And he said Crydy is the company. Okay, okay. Yeah, when I went to go Google it, dude, it would not show up, and that's why. Okay. So it's yeah. The other one, yeah, I see which one it is. Yeah, this one looks sick, dude. Oh, this is a legit company too. So they're all about the mini stuff. Okay. Where are these guys out of? I want to make sure that they're US based because I hate waiting like 3 years to get anything. Okay. Oh, wow. They got like multi-stackable. This is crazy. Holy shit. I'll just go ahead and I'll post this in the Discord under helpful resources and links. So if anybody else wants to look at this damn thing, this is the big one, but I just care about the little guys. But yeah, there you go. I think most hobbyists are working with a very small space. And that's what I like about like painting minis, is just the fact that you really don't need a lot of space. I mean, there are some people I see on Instagram or like YouTube, they have entire offices dedicated to painting minis only. I'm definitely not there. Like that's like full time. You're doing commission work, or you're like a YouTuber, where you really take it seriously with your setup, or maybe you don't have kids. I don't know. You just have room, or you make a lot of money. Then yeah, you can have your entire setup. But like most of us average Joes, I feel like are working on stuff similar to this, or you got to share space with other things, right? Like your computer stuff, That's just how it do be. That's just how it doobie do. So I get that. But thank you for sharing that, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. So I'll go ahead and add this to favorites too. Thank you, sir. All right, back to the stream. All right. Oh, okay. A round guy says it looks like the one from Michael's. Oh, I wonder if it is. We have a Michael's here in town, so I could even see if there's a wet palette here in at Michael's. Michael's would have it too. They're very painter friendly. It's better than Hobby Lobby actually. Like Hobby Lobby's kind of weak in the painting. Like they're okay, but I feel like Michael's really has it going on too. So like I like the brushes at Hobby Lobby, and they sell pretty decent like paints and stuff. They have a lot of enamels. I wish they sold Citadel, but they don't really do a deal with them. They have a lot of Vallejo though, so they do have Vallejo there. We'll said a lot of it's still wet. Oh, okay. Did some blending since you did a cape. Gotcha. And then Renival said my main setup I also share in my bedroom. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean if I was by myself, yeah, I'd probably have my shit in my bedroom. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's another common setup too. Is it's like just in their bedroom. This is just in the living room. So I share this whole space. The kitchen's over here. Living room's right in front of me, but I also got the TV here, so it's kind of cool. And then behind me, I have the porch. So if I want to like look outside, I can kind of look outside. It's kind of nice. And it also helps when I'm doing priming, because then I can just open up the door and I'll get some airflow in here. So that kind of works out. Ron, I said also I have a 2x6 hobby table used for about 2x2 of paint for the rest of the areas to build an airbrush area. Gotcha. Oh wow, yeah. 2x6 that's pretty good. And 2 feet, like this thing, I think this is like this is a little less than 2 feet. Because I'm looking at the inches here, and it only goes up to 18 inches for this mat. So this is about like 19-ish inches deep. So 2 feet,
is good. That's a good size right there. Yeah, 2 feet deep is good, especially by 6 feet. Oh my gosh, that's plenty of room. That's plenty of room. I wish. I mean, if I had a table that goes all the way along this, then it would work out. But I don't have that, and I got to store my minis somewhere too. So that's another problem. I have shit all over the place. It's very chaotic, and I try not to step on things, but so it goes, right? And then Round Guy said, as you stated, I'm old and no kids at home. So yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, if it was just me by myself and if I didn't have kids, like, yeah, I would definitely have a dedicated room just to hobbies. And then the garage would probably be like my woodworking stuff or like metal crafting. Of course, I'd have my motorcycle in there, my car, workout stuff maybe. But yeah, we have a garage here, but like we have to share it with it's underground parking, so I don't even have that. At my old apartment though, we had a garage that was connected, like almost connected directly to our apartment, and it was badass. This garage was huge. We had a laser printer in there. I had a miter saw in there. I had all this stuff in there, and it fit perfectly. And then we had to move, and we came here. We don't have hardly any of that space anymore. So we've had to put a lot of it into storage. So we have a storage unit across town. I have to drive all the way there and fucking open it up and crawl through shit to get anything out. So kind of annoying. But when spring happens, we're going to go through and I'm going to better organize that and get rid of stuff. I've already sold some stuff, but we're going to be getting rid of more. So yay for that. Round Guy said, when my kids were home, I had a TV dinner tray of space. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yep. That's kind of like what I'm working with almost here. Yeah, dude. But like that's everything probably. Yeah, like for me, I at least have a cart too. I have a craft cart that I have my I mean, I can't really show it right now, but whenever I do my airbrushing, my airbrush is on the bottom with the compressor. The middle row is all my extra paint brushes, all my like God, I got a fucking whole bunch of the wet palettes in there, and then the very top is like I have all the other hobby stuff, glues. I got tools, so all my tools, and then for my paint, I got to figure out a way to do this. But for now, oh Lord, here we go. So there's a dry brush palette, yada, yada, yada. Get that out of here. And then for now, for paint, also, why the hell is this in here? This should be over here. This is what I use for paint. So it's just a big acrylic bin, and it works pretty good. Works okay. It can't fit everything, though. And I did move some of my Citadels into these. So this is I did a transfer of a good amount of the ones that I use a lot, and I really am glad that I did that. So speaking of, I could probably put some of these away. Cantor Blue, don't need that. What's this one? Flash Gets Yellow, don't need that right now. I'm not making fire. Wildwood, this can go in the contrast bin. I also have AK, which is awesome, by the way. I want to get more AK. They're really cool. Strickling Mud can stay out. Layer Forest, that can stay out. Thunderhawk Blue can stay out. Incubi Darkness can stay out. Let's see. What's this one? Oh, Agrex Earthshade. This can go away. I don't need this right now. So I might as well organize a little bit here. Excuse me. Caliban Green, that can stay out. This one, I think, is Abaddon or Corvus. Abaddon. That's Abaddon Black. I can tell just by looking at it. Nolan Oil, I'll put this away. I don't need that right now. All right. Let me get this out of the way. Thanks, guys, for bearing with me. And then I do have a dry brush palette. I love this thing. Also 40K themed. So I got this off Etsy. Made by some fucking Chinese company, but this is actually really well made. So I'm happy with it. I like the AdMech theme. I think it's very 40K. They had like a chaos themed one, but I didn't really like it. But this is actually a really good idea. I would strongly suggest getting these. At first I thought it was gimmicky, but once I bought it, I learned that it's really good. I mean, you could just use paper towel too, right? Like that's fine. But I would say a dry brush palette is probably worth it. Probably worth it. So, let's see here. Round Guy said, I use Pro Acryl paints, are all in droppers. Have issue? Yeah, I know, dude. The GW pots are shit, bro. 100%, man. I have an issue with them too. Yeah, I mean, I clean them and like I have to like pull it off, and I do maintenance with them. But I just got so sick of it. I literally just went and bought a transfer thing. And I just put a bunch of ones in here that I usually use a lot. Like here's Corvus Black. Of course I use that. Abaddon Black. I'm using this all the time for my freaking Chaos Marines. Catachan Flesh. Wraithbone is very common as well. So I got Wraithbone in here. I'm really glad I did that. It does take a little bit of time. You do lose some paint. Unfortunately, you can't get every single drop as much as I've tried. But I'm happy that I did it. So I'm glad I did it. I think it's worth it because these things are just horrible. And I wish GW would just get rid of these things. They have their reasons for keeping them, but those need to fucking go. Like, bye-bye. Yeah. The Pro Acryl, I do have one Pro Acryl paint. Which one is it? Nope. Maybe it's somewhere else. How did I do? Let me check over here. Oh, I like step over stuff. Thought I had it. Right? I don't know. Oh god. Somewhere. Let me close this up. So freaking chaotic over here. The woes of being a hobbyist. But you know what? It's all happy chaos. It's all happy. Oh, LED said gang. Yo, what's up, girl? Gang, what's up? What's up, Ellie? What's good in the hood, girl? You can't sleep, huh? I'm going to go ahead and rebase these 4 little dudes here just to get a little bit more of that peanut butter consistency that I want to use. LED said I cannot sleep. Aw. Well, what helps you sleep, Ellie? Let me ask you that. I have sleeping issues too, by the way. Like, if I didn't have fucking medication to actually make me go to sleep, I'm like legitimately an insomniac. I'm not kidding. I have real issues with sleeping. Fucking sucks. Medical conditions and shit. Oh, and then Round Guy said, main reason I Pro Acryl is with the light thinning. I use it in my... Yes. Yeah, that's really nice. 100%. Yeah, because like for these, you have to thin them down with a medium. If I were to use these in there, I do have Citadel specific, like I have Abaddon Black in Air, and it does spray very well. I will say it's very good. But again, they're in the fucking pots, so you have to like pour it a certain way, right? Kind of annoying. I actually use tubes like droppers, and I actually suck it up inside the Citadel airbrush, and then I put it inside the airbrush reservoir. So that's how I do that. And it does spray very good. Like Citadel paints are very good. I hate the form factor. But the fact that you can use Pro Acryl inside your airbrush is pretty dope because of how thin they are. That's pretty cool. Good to know, Round Guy. Thank you for telling me, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's another reason to get Pro Acryl. So our local gaming store here in town in Rochester, Minnesota, the owner of the store literally got rid of all Citadel paints and just went Pro Acryl. And then there's one more that he also sells. These guys. Amp Color. Not super familiar with them, but this is very similar. If I were to with Vallejo, Where is it? Iraqi sand. Where are you? Oh, here it is. It's very similar to Iraqi sand with Vallejo. So, you know, it doesn't look like it, but when you put it next to each other and they dry, they look very similar. But this is beige gray. So go figure. I just bought it because I wanted to try it out, and it's okay. So this is out of Arizona. Monument Hobbies. I'm sure a lot of you know exactly who the fuck that is. That sounds very familiar. But yeah, I do have this. So, but I did want to step it up in AK, and then I was thinking about going Pro Acryl. I'm not totally there yet. I might buy it and just start it. The only problem I haven't bought is because I want to get a 1-for-1 match. I want it as close as I can, like what's corn red? You know what I mean? Like if I could get a Pro Acryl that matches this, then I would buy it. 100% I would buy it. Okay, Monument is Pro Acryl. Okay, thank you for telling me. Yeah, double the ounce and like the same price. Yeah, exactly. LED said I'm tripping balls right now. Uh-oh. Too much. I could buy some there legal here. Yeah. Weed got me to burn off energy. Yeah. Poor Ellie. If I ever find myself like having trouble going to sleep, I just turn on turn on either horror stories to sleep to, or a lot of it I just turn on like 40K lore and I just go to sleep. That's usually what I do. So like Lore Keeper's Librarium, I'll just turn on that guy and it'll just, even if it's like an hour, 2 hours long, usually my medication kicks in by then and I'm fucking out. I am like done. Okay, so Monument is Pro Acryl. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, Round Guy. Yeah, because Monument Hobby sounds really familiar. They must be owned by Pro Acryl. Yeah, so. But that's our local gaming store. That's all he sells. He got rid of all Citadel paint, probably because he's also sick of the distribution and how it's like you're always waiting on shit, you know, like to come in and it's like, hey, do you have Lead Belcher? They're like, no, I don't have it yet. Because like I'm having trouble finding stuff right now. I'm probably gonna have to go all the way to the Twin Cities to buy more paint because I can't buy it anywhere here locally. It's kind of annoying. Like I wish he would also have Citadel paint too, but he literally just said, "Fuck it, I'm done with them. I'll buy your minis, but I'm not gonna buy your paint." he does not buy any of their stuff, and probably like profit margins too. I'm sure that also changed also. Because like I feel like GW, you don't make a lot of money selling this, but if you have Pro Acryl as a business, you probably have more profit margins, so you're probably making more money. So I mean, I get it. I'm a capitalist too. You got to make some money, as long as you're not ripping me off, right? But it's the only gaming store in town, so like they can, and they do have some pricey shit. I'm not gonna lie, their shit's pretty pricey. Like if I'd rather go to Level Up Gaming in the Twin Cities at St. Paul or Minneapolis, and I could get it way. They have better inventory, better pricing, and I just like the staff there too. Our local gaming store, they're okay. They're okay. They're all right. They could be better, but yeah, at least the 40K gaming scene is pretty alive here. And it seems to be like every Thursday. Usually, there's between Magic the Gathering, they usually have like they work around each other's schedules, and it's decently sized too. They have a decent size, and all levels, skill levels, if you will. So I consider myself pretty new. It's not that I know nothing. That's not it. It's just compared to someone who plays this a lot more regularly or has a lot more experience, I would consider myself pretty new. So I'm not going to say like, oh, I have a year. Like even a year is not a lot. So, yeah. So this will dry and it'll look really nice once it's done. And then I can consider this essentially done, but I usually like to do a little bit more. And then there's like this helmet down here, like with a skull. Oh, what the hell is going on with my camera? What the fuck? Is this messing with you guys too? What the hell? What the helly? What in the 1980s? Whoa, this is trippy. What the hell? That's not good. Let me try something. No. What the fuck? Make sure the cable's in here good. No, I did not hit a button at all. That's weird, dude. It just started being all trippy. What the fuck? Oh god, this is ruining my freaking. Let me unplug it and plug it back in. Hopefully that doesn't mess up too much. Just give me a second here. I hate doing this, but